Assalamualaikum and hi, Doctor and everyone. My name is Amirul Ashraf. I'm the representative of the group Pembimbing Rakan IT. So our group was assigned to do the third problem, which is Shang Chi's final decision problem. After having a more than 1 hour discussion with all the group members, we came up with 4 assumptions. The first is Shang-Chi's salary is 4K based on the average salary. Second, Shang-Chi's age is 25 to 37 years old. Third, Shang-Chi has enough money to pay down payment for either house or car. The last one is Shang-Chi's working full-time. Next, I will pass to my group member.
Hello, my name is Noha. So, which can he afford more? So, he need to consider some factors for making a decision on buying a car or house. So, the first one is the down payment for a car. It is 3,500, and for a house, it is 30,000 ringgit. While the monthly installment for a car, he needs to pay for 400 ringgit. For a house, he needs to pay for 1,550 ringgit for the monthly installment. And also he should consider to pay for the other costs. For example, uh, for a car he needs to pay petrol, maintenance and road tax, while for a house he need to pay for utilities and maintenance. So the total monthly payment for a car is 750 ringgit, while for a house it is 2,050 ringgit. Next, I pass to Aiman.
From our assumptions stated in the previous slide, a house would cost him around 58% of his net salary per month, while a car would only cost him around 22%. This shows that a car is much more affordable than a house with his current salary. So a car is more affordable for him than a house at this with the amount of income that he earns per month. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, I'm Farha. Okay. But what if he earns above average and can afford both house and car? This is just a question. Next. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the trend from the past 5 years from Google Trends between buy car and buy house. As you can see, the trend of buy car always on the average always higher than buy house, even though the trend are decreasing starting from year 2020. But still the average of buy car is still higher than buy house. Next. Okay, so here are some disadvantages and advantages if Shang-Chi considered to buy a car or a house. Alright, I'll pass to next presenter.
Thank you. If considering the fact that he can afford both the down payment for the house and the car, and he can afford to pay the monthly cost, we can also look at his needs and his values. For example, if he lives far from the workplace and he is planning to marry, then he should buy a car. If his partner is working, he should buy a house in KL. If not, if he's planning to marry but his partner isn't working, then he should think of buying a car. Next, my group mates will present on their thoughts and final decisions regarding what Shang Chi should do. I'll pass on to Farha.
All right, I personally think that Shang Chi should buy a car first. As at the first point, he can commute everywhere anytime he wants. And then it is better for him to lease a house since it's uncertain whether he will permanently work in Kuala Lumpur. Since there is many possibility of him moving to another state, whether it is work or relationship related. Also, he can save more money if he buy a car first to buy other desires such as branded items or traveling. He also can build credit with buying car first. Then with that credit, he can easily buy house with it if he plan to buy house in the future. Right, and I'll pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Farah. In my opinion, I would reckon Shang-Chi to buy both house and car, but with certain condition. The first is shared rental house. So Shang-Chi should find either 2 or more roommate so that the monthly rental payment will be divided and will decrease per month. So let's say the rental payment will be 200 per month, and if he have 2 roommates, so we'll add 3 including him, so he just pay 700 per month. And the second condition is he have to attend physically into the office every day. So I recommend Shang-Chi to buy a cheap rental car. The most famous cheap rental car in Malaysia right now is Pro 2 Asia, which is 300 ringgit, around 300 ringgit per month. So I put 500 and below, which give Shang-Chi a choice to choose around that price, below 500. So if we look at based on his net income, we minus it by rental house 700, and then rental car 500, and for the saving, which if he want to save 1,000 per month based on his income, so he have a total of 1,300 for utilities or food of his own. So that's from me.
I personally think that he should buy a car first because with his current salary, it poses less risk and more opportunities to either save more money or spend his money on other things such as hobbies and branded items. For example, it poses less risk because in buying a house will put him in more chances of being in debt or bankruptcy. Buying a car also allows him to save money for the future and save credit to buy a house in the future. It also allows for easy commuting during work, so he's not entitled to the public transportation's inefficiency and ineffectiveness. I pass on to the next presenter.
I personally think that he should buy a car. The first reason is that at his age, it is very likely that he will relocate to a new location to hop between jobs to get a salary increment. If he already bought a house, he may need to spend more time on commuting, or he will need to pay for 2 houses every month. And even though house prices will increase every year, it is much harder to sell a house than a car because not many people can afford to buy a house in this economy. So if he does not want to be affected by the cost depreciation of the car too much, he can buy a second-hand car. Next, public transport in Malaysia is not really reliable, especially outside of Klang Valley area. So he will have a difficulty commuting outside of KL, either because the public transport does not reach his destination, or it will be more time consuming. Renting is also much cheaper than taking out a mortgage, because by renting, he will have extra money to be spent elsewhere, maybe on his hobby or on more food, and he can save more money, maybe for his marriage. I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, in my opinion, he should buy a car first because it is more affordable. And the second one, driving a car to work is more convenient and save time instead of taking a public transportation. Like he need to take 2 to 3 hours to wait and uh, commute in the public transportation. And the last one, I think it's better to buy a car first instead of buying a house, because later, once he got married, he need to decide with his life partner on where to live. That's all for us. Thank you.